What is going on, everybody? This is Sam with Troops Mowing, and in this video, I am going to show you how to maximize your marketing spend by focusing more on speed versus accuracy. A little bit about me is I am the founder and CEO of Troops Mowing, and we own two different lawn care companies. We are opening up our third location in the spring, and within just 4 years of business, by God's grace, we were able to get this up to about $1 million a year in sales. And how we've done that in such a short amount of time is focusing on speed versus accuracy. A good way to remember this saying is, I have not made this up, but somebody has said speed to lead. And that couldn't be more true. The faster you can get to a customer, the more customers you are going to get. Now, this video is not going to get 1 million views because it's going to get really thick into the numbers, which I believe is what a lot of small business owners, especially in the home service sector, needs to focus on. So let me go ahead and dive in on what we are going to do for our Christmas light campaign this year. For context, last year, whenever we got a new estimate in for Christmas lights, we would send an estimator. A lot of the times it was myself going to a property, measuring the linear feet of the roof line and preparing an estimate. Now that took about 30 minutes per estimate that I was able to get sent out. This year, we're doing a completely different campaign, and I'm excited to share it with you guys because I think it's going to be a game changer. What we want to do is, Mike Andy says this thing that you want to boil a puddle instead of boiling the ocean. Now, how we are going to do that is we are going to send out an EDDM campaign to, I think it's 5 different routes for post office. Or no, wait, it is, I think 6 different routes for post office. So basically 6 neighborhoods we are going to be sending our EDDM campaigns to. We're then going to hire 2 high school kids to go hand door hangers out 1 week later to those same 6 neighborhoods. Now what that's going to do is it's going to get us more touch points with those people. So if anybody within those 6 neighborhoods, it's going to be about 7,500 homes, is wanting Christmas lights, they're going to use us. And so what we are going to bank on is we're going to try to get a 2% conversion rate for our marketing campaign. Let's break this down. Our total marketing spend in the speed to lead, I'll put this over here, don't know if you can see it or if I'm in the way, is $5,069. That includes the cost of all the flyers being printed, delivered, and the high school kids handing everything out. For more context, what we did last year is, like I said, we would measure the property and we would get a per foot pricing on a home. So that one home could be 125 linear foot, one home could be 172 linear foot. We would get it down to the exact foot, but at the expense of taking a lot of time on each property. So this year we're giving the customers 2 options. You get a single story home or you have a 2-story home. Single story home is going to be what our price is for that, and a 2-story home is going to be what our price is for that. I'm not sharing our prices because a lot of people in our market watch these videos. What I can tell you is our gross profit on average is going to be about $320 per service. And so we've based our single story homes off of 150 linear feet. And so we're going to get a lot of homes in that are 120 linear feet. And we're going to get a few homes in that are over 150 linear feet, which we effectively would make less gross profit on those, but we would make more gross profit on the ones that come in less than 150 linear feet. And so that is what I'm talking about, is speed to lead. I don't need to send an estimator to every property to go get the exact to the half of a foot for the Christmas light estimation. I just need to guesstimate what our average is and add a few to it so that the majority come in below that. And so here's what that comes out to. At a 2% conversion rate on our marketing campaign, we would get 144 customers. This has a customer acquisition cost of $35.20. Now what we can do is, I know that our gross profit on this service is going to be, on average, $320 is going to be our gross profit per service. So if I take our gross profit divided by our customer acquisition costs, this tells me that this comes out to 9.09. So what does this mean? This means for every $1 spent in marketing, I get $9.09 return in gross profit. that sounds great, right? Now let me tell you what would have happened, what our return on investment would be if we send an estimator out to a home. And I'm also going to tell you the consequences and the price you pay, for lack of better terms, by taking the time to do the estimate perfect, right? So what this does is, if we have a close rate, let's just right now in our main location, because we're in profit mode with a higher hourly rate, our close rate is around 30%. And so if we had 144 customers at a close rate of 30%, that means the total estimates that we have sent out, or that we would have had to have done, is 480 estimates. Now last year, I said each estimate that I went out to took on average about 30 minutes to drive back, and spend time on the property measuring the roof line. And so for a total labor to send an estimator, that would be 240 total hours that we would have to pay somebody to go do these estimates. With the price of gas, and if you paid this person, let's say $25 an hour, let's say, to get a nice round number, this is an additional $7,000 just to send an estimator to go prepare this estimate. That's an additional $7,000. And so what we have to do is we have to bake this into our new customer acquisition cost. Here's the thing, is when we send our door hangers, or when we put our door hangers after we did our EDDM campaign, there's a QR code that takes them to our website where they can click their option and approve everything right there and add their card and everything right there. They don't have to wait on me to send an actual estimate. They just literally click a button and they're on our schedule. Speed to lead. But if we had to send an estimator to someone's property and we had to take that extra time, and let's say they reached out on a Thursday, we couldn't get back to them until Monday, that's artificially going to decrease your close rate. So let's say that our close rate, since we are doing the estimator, let's say that dropped to 25% for this campaign. So instead of getting 144 customers, we now only got 120 customers. And since we got 120 customers, with all this additional cost for this marketing campaign, this has a new customer acquisition cost of $100.57. The double whammy here is now our gross profit. Since we have more in customer acquisition cost, our gross profit decreases on average to $254. And so what this tells me is, if my gross profit is $254 and my customer acquisition cost is $100.57, this comes out to $2.52. Now, what does that mean? Same thing as up here. For every $1 spent, I get a return of $2.52 in gross profit. So let's overview this for a second. Option one, you are focusing on speed to lead. You are not focusing on perfection. You are going for the masses instead of like picture perfect, down to the foot in materials. That's what we're giving up. We're giving up accuracy. But what we are getting in return is 24 more customers at an extremely discounted customer acquisition cost. And so option one, this gets us $46,000 in gross profit. Option two, it gets us $30,480 in gross profit. Some might say, well, that's not too big of a hit since I focused more on accuracy. But here's the kicker. We made $16,000 more in gross profit, and if you are the one doing the estimates, you've saved 240 hours of work. You get 240 hours back to your schedule that you can focus on something else in your business. Now, I can do a whole other business on, if you save 240 hours, the opportunity cost would be more than $16,000 in gross profit. You could dedicate those 240 hours to something completely different, to decrease your overhead expenses, to get more gross profit on the books, whatever. So you get 240 more hours back to your life and $16,000 more back to your gross profit. This is the beauty of speed to lead. This can be implemented in anything, in any aspect, in any service in your business. Focus more on speed and less on accuracy, and your bottom line will